You tell us your story.
We lent you a camera.
Check it out, look.
You showed up.
We air it.
It's unfiltered. Can't make this stuff up.
I wasn't recording any of that.
Are you still filming?
This is your news.
Get the truth out.
Your words.
Nobody in the world is going to be able to tell your story the way you can tell it.
Your pictures.
Show them what you look like.
Our airtime.
Maybe they'll listen to me on TV.
Hi, I'm Serena Alchel, and this is MTV News Unfiltered. Our first story comes from 24-year-old Bridget Baby Doll Riley, a female athlete who wanted to show the world how she's destroying stereotypes and the competition.
I want to be seen. I want to make believers out of people that I can do this too. A lot of guys say, nah, women shouldn't be in this sport. Nobody wants to see a pretty girl get their face hit. To me, that's a bunch of bull. I'm a female in a tough sport. It takes a lot of discipline, a lot of dedication, and I'm breaking rules here. I currently hold 5 world titles in kickboxing, but right now I'm focusing on boxing. I'm ranked #2 in the world. Yvonne Trevino has the world title right now in my weight division, and I look forward to fighting her in February. I'm not there to look cutesy-bootsy. You know, I'm in there taking punches just like a man. When people didn't know my reputation, the women would look at me and they'd be like, this girl can't fight her way out of a paper bag.
And the noise you hear is the march-in of Bridget Baby Doll Riley.
And I liked it. You know, I thought, that's cool. Let her think that. Let her think that, you know? Let her underestimate me. And then, bam, knockout.
The left-handed to rule us down and out. Whoa! Just a few moments ago, a storm swept over the Inglewood, California area, and that is the lady who caused it.
Every fight now is a fight closer to the world title.
I'm a little nervous because my opponent's here. So this is the first time we actually really all see each other.
I'm not afraid of being hurt, but I fear losing, and that motivates me. I mean, I'm gonna do what it takes. If I cut her, if I bust her nose and it's bleeding, that's cool. That help. You know, I see blood and it's just like, I really want to jump on it. When I hear the fans and I hear the people and they're screaming, baby doll, they're screaming for me. I love it because it makes me think, my God, I gotta fight even harder.
Bridget Baby Doll Riley.
People think I'm another person when I'm in the ring. They're like, God, you're just intense. You are so hard. There's just power shooting out from my eyes.
The winner by a technical knockout, Bridget Baby Doll Riley.
After this fight, all the work, all the training, all of it is worth it in that one moment. Yvonne Trevino, personally, let's dance.
Bridget's currently training for her title fight in February, and we'll keep you posted on her success. Here's a look at some other athletes who bypass traditional sports to get their adrenaline racing.
Here we go. Street losing.
Hello, I'm a street luge rider. I lay down on a skateboard doing 80 miles an hour. So I've been on a street luge for 8 years. I hope to hear from you guys.
How did that footage turn out there, Steve?
This is our beautiful island of Hawaii.
This is an ice block.
If you don't have snow, then you could just easily go ice block sliding. You can go anywhere where there's smooth grass, but golf courses are preferred. It's a really fun sport, you know, well, if it's a sport.
This is Drew Lewis from Portland, Oregon. I've done this event a couple times. It's basically drag racing, but not with cars.
We want to hear how you're breaking boundaries. Call us at 1-800-296-2445 or pitch your story cyber style at mtv.com. The human brain is a complex organ which controls movement, sensation, reason, and emotion. Like any other organ, however, the brain is susceptible to malfunction. It's a common misconception that individuals with mental disorders are somehow different than those suffering from physical ailments, a misconception that one family from Southern California wanted a camera to dispel.
I think there's way too much of you in this shot. I really think it needs to be a lot more like this.
My older brother he's just the greatest person. When I was growing up, all my friends wanted to hang out by the house when he was around because he was so cute.
As I recall, he had an IQ of about 160, which really put him on the top of the chart.
Now I can see the moon, a slice at a time, just like a pizza pie. Steak and potatoes, a feather in a bucket.
When I was about 10, something changed. Jamie stopped showering, stopped making sense. And he just was completely consumed with the idea that there were bugs on him and he couldn't get them off.
You thought for sure this is it, the kid's on drugs, not believing that it can be anything like his brain is dysfunctioning.
One day, Jamie had all of his things piled in the center of his room, and he couldn't decide whether to set them on fire in the house or to take them out of the house and set them on fire.
James is diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic. Most people are afraid of that and afraid of him, but he's more afraid of them.
You kind of associate it with violence and dementia and homicidal tendencies.
There are people in my family that used to say, you shouldn't bring a schizophrenic person home. They belong in a hospital because when you're asleep at night, they're going to kill you. At any time, and they were serious.
That is a total myth. He doesn't have the power to be violent. Jamie hears voices in his head. It's like having a radio on all the time in your ear.
Sometimes all the voices have to vote on making a decision, and that's why it takes a long time, because nobody agrees. So, one thing they do agree on is they all hate country music.
What was I in the middle of saying?
The TV talks to him. It'll say Jamie changed the channel. He hates that. Jamie has paranoid delusions.
They didn't put my name on the back of the I Love Lucy stuff. I was a little kid banging on my drum set. And they didn't put my name on the back of that. I've never been paid for that.
He thinks that when he was young, he was Little Ricky on the I Love Lucy show, because when he was little, he did look like Little Ricky. And now that he's schizophrenic, the memory is confused in his head, and he's very upset that they're not paying him royalties off of those episodes.
Eruption, Hacienda Heights. I'll play this one. This is a beautiful guitar.
Music really brings him a lot of peace. It gives his mind something to focus on, and it lets him ignore the voices. What medication does is it turns down the volume of his voices. If he doesn't take his medicine, he can wander off and wind up homeless. Jamie lived on the street. He was frightened, didn't know where to get help. Where Jamie lives now is a good place. It's a good home. They have people that take care of him. Breaks your heart. It'd be nice to take him home, huh?
You feel very guilty not to have him home.
Moving home, yeah, that would be important.
Jamie and I were driving along in the car, and he looked over at me, and he goes, yeah, he's all, I don't really think you can handle this. I'm really glad it happened to me and not you. I think it really demonstrates that this person with schizophrenia and this person that was my brother, they are the same person. Interviewed out?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Say bye.
Sayonara, arrivederci.
Did you state your name for the record?
My name? Jamie Palmer.
Jamie is currently living at a board and care facility in Southern California and is working towards living on his own. While recent discoveries in the field of neuroscience have led to progress in the treatment of psychiatric illnesses such as schizophrenia, a detailed map of the human brain still remains largely uncharted.
It's Unfiltered.
If you've ever walked into a restaurant, a store, or any business and felt you've been treated unfairly, you might understand our next group of stories. They're about the battle between the consumer and the business owner and the debate whether the customer is always right.
Please, Lord, forgive me, for I have sinned. I have used way too much ketchup. Hi, my name is Mike Jenner. I'm 22 years old and I'm from Auburn, Nebraska. Some friends of mine and I were banned from a restaurant here in town for using too much ketchup. We just simply went there to eat dinner and we left thinking everything was all right. We found out later they had taken our names down, saying that we cannot come back again, and it pretty much angered us. I mean, what's more important, business or ketchup? I think the more times you come back and eat again, you're going to make up for that ketchup.
Welcome to Scottsdale, Arizona. A local nightclub refused admission to some gentlemen from India who are Sikhs and wear turbans as part of their religious expression.
They would just say we have a no hat policy and you can't get in.
There's no headwear allowed in.
This is not a headwear, this is a turban.
Oh, I understand that, but any headwear whatsoever we do not let in the club.
The club's owner and manager told them that he was not interested in their religious preferences and that in a new country they should adopt new standards.
If you can let me into the country with my turban on, I think I have the right to go to any place which is public.
In our next story, a group of former telemarketers reveal how discriminatory tactics made sales over the phone a matter of black and white.
I'm sure there's racism everywhere, but never in my life have I ever worked at a job where it was so blunt. The company I'd worked for was Consolidated Readers. What I did there is I sold magazines over the telephone, but there were certain stipulations.
Basically just that we couldn't sell to black people.
How does your boss justify this policy?
He justified it by saying that black people did not pay their bills. We were told to ask a certain question on the phone, do you read Ebony or Jet? If they did read these magazines, we were to kill the order, which is to throw it away in the trash.
This right here shows what the codes mean that are on your order forms. And this is one that says code 18, which means a black order. And if that's on your paper, it's called a kill, and it gets disposed of.
How strict were they in the policy of not selling to blacks?
Oh, very strict.
And was your job ever threatened over it?
Oh, yes. We were told we were fired if we sold to blacks again.
This area is very hard to find work in. There is an influx of military that are hired sometimes before the local people.
I really didn't have a choice. It's just me and my son, and I needed a job. It didn't matter if I liked it there or not, I needed the money. I felt really weird working there because my son is half black himself. And here I'm working at a job that's discriminating against that, but then I have to go at home and look at him every day knowing this.
Well, we have filed a complaint with the EEOC and the NAACP, and none of them can help us because we are not the minority that they're discriminating against.
Now, I just want to make sure that the viewers see this and know that this is going on, because it goes on everywhere, not just here. And we all need to stand up and do something about it.
We contacted the supervisor of the local branch of Consolidated Readers, and he denied that racism plays a part in his selling policies. He did, however, claim that readers of Jet and Ebony were less reliable in paying their bills, and therefore he adjusts his selling policies based not on race, but on economics. The head office responded by saying that this local supervisor is an independent contractor, and they were not aware, nor do they condone, his methods.
It's Unfiltered.
In our next story, 22-year-old Rachel Chacon brings a camera home to confront her family's conservative beliefs about a very personal issue. Here's her story about finding strength in her own convictions.
For a long time, I had this guilt that what happened to me, that I almost had no right to complain, that I had no right to call it rape, because he didn't use a weapon, and he was someone I knew. He was my sister's boyfriend. He was 16, I was 14. I seriously don't remember anything until he was on top of me, and he was kissing me. And I wasn't kissing back. And I said no. Several times I said no. It was going to be years before I understood the level of violation that had happened and how to deal with it. I felt everyone I told would tell me that I at least would have to share in part of the responsibility. I was afraid of that kind of judgment from everyone. There's my mom and dad. I never told my parents because I thought I would get in trouble. I thought they would be mad at me because I looked at what had happened as that I had had sex, and I was only 14 years old. Now, I feel like I'm ready to tell them because it was such an important thing in my life, and I've spent the last 8 years getting over it. One of the things that I hope to achieve with Mom and Dad, like I said, is because I know that they hold really naive ideas about rape, and I hope to enlighten them a little bit. I told my parents off camera for privacy, and that led to a discussion. We talked about rape.
We come from a Christian point of view, which means that even consensual sex outside of marriage is wrong. When a woman dresses in a provocative manner and or puts herself in a situation that a man is more likely to do this, it's because she's appealing to his more baser nature, which is sin. And any man can be tempted of anything.
Of rape?
Yes. Of
By
anything.
wearing something?
It can be, yes.
David,
Why do you think that God says that the appearance of a woman should be modest in nature? God understands the nature of man.
But what I want you to
What's wrong is
understand-
man does not understand his own nature.
Then basically what you're saying, if a woman leads a man, if they get to the point where they're both naked and their genitals are touching, then if she says no, then she should expect to be raped.
She should never have done that.
Okay.
Just as I shouldn't leave my keys in the car, and I should not leave my wallet on the counter where people are walking in and out. It's wrong to steal it, and they shouldn't have done it, but they do it because, again, I have tempted them to do that.
I wasn't too surprised at their opinions, and personally they made me a little sick, and it really disappointed me.
I'm not hurt by what my parents said. I'm not hurt by the ideas that they have about sexual violence, but I'm concerned. I feel like telling them was, I guess, the last step. I always thought it was going to be this ugly skeleton in my closet, and it shouldn't be. It doesn't have to be. I didn't do anything wrong. I actually refer to myself as both a survivor and a victim. Because somewhere inside of me, I'm always going to be that 14-year-old girl, and I'm always going to have all the fears and doubts and questions that I had right after I was raped. But that little 14-year-old in me needs who I am today. She needs who I've become.
According to the U.S. Department of Justice, 68% of rapes are committed by acquaintances. Among these statistics is the unsettling fact that many sex crimes go unreported. If you or someone you know needs counseling, call the RAIN National Hotline at 1-800-656-HOPE. It's free and confidential. If you'd like to make a camera the witness to your world,
You call Unfiltered.
1-800-294-45.
You want people to hear the truth? Well, then get the truth out.
in our last story, 2 urban myth hunters find a full-time job putting weirdness on the map in the jungles of New Jersey.
Excuse me. Anything weird around here? Anything weird around here?
Hi, I'm Mark Sturman. This is Mark Moran, and hi. We publish Weird New Jersey.
New Jersey has its own unique weirdness that I don't think you're going to find in any other state. I don't think you can have a weird Rhode Island.
It's a travel journal of the unique spots that a lot of people would consider weird.
Here's something you don't see every day.
There's no figurehead for the art world, and I've decided to step into the throne room of the art world and become king of art. Well, I always like to cover my cars with fur.
How do do you feel about always being the driver, Mark, on these weird New Jersey excursions?
It's a pain in the ass. The Lawn of 1,000 Milk Jugs is a fairly well-known attraction in New Jersey. It's just one of our roadside drive-bys.
Here we go again.
This is the Mercedes-Benz tombstone of Ray Say. Ray's brother David always promised Ray that he would buy him a Mercedes for his 17th birthday. Although Ray died shortly before his 17th birthday, his brother made good on the promise.
You never take normal roads in weird New Jersey. We're gonna go see Wavin' Joe of Totowo. All he wants to do is wave.
Hi.
Too many people were driving down the suburban street and honking their horns at him, and it was disturbing the neighbors.
Since when is it a crime to just wave?
I don't know. You got to see the judge about that.
Hi, Joe.
Hi.
You gonna rock and roll for us today? Well, here we are on the road. We've come to see the roadside Elvis Presley show. We've heard it's quite a delight.
He's a harmless person who just loves Elvis and loves to sing on the side of the road.
And then he's got his pal there, Dolores, who sits on the side of the road. He sings for about 3 or 4 hours a day, every single day, 7 days a week.
If I have to do it my alleyway, I'll do it.
After Mark and I come back from the road, we get to work on putting the stories together. The few bookstores that we're in sell continually.
Sells just like Newsweek, Playboy, all that kind of stuff.
All these isolated little sites and legends are all scattered, and there's really no other folder to put these things into other than a project called Weird New Jersey.
Say bye, MTV.
Bye, MTV.